Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting installment of the Geek Gauntlet podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan, and we have the same crew that we had last night after our technical difficulties. First, I want to introduce you guys to the best co-host in the whole wide world. Shaw, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
All right. And next, we have a special guest in the house, Gene Emerson from the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. How you doing, bro?
Good. How's it going tonight? And once again, we had technical difficulties. If you heard us on YouTube or watched us on YouTube, now you get to see us again live here on Facebook.
Oh, man. And also, I want to say thank you to my buddies over in the League of Darkness over on the Discord. Got all my boys over there. Who we got over there? We got my boy KW, Kakarot. We got James. Who else? We got Gaming Geek. We got Jaja Johnson. I got James again. Man, it's great to see you guys. Thank you guys for coming out. I do appreciate it. Before we get started, what's going on in everyone's personal lives? Everybody had a great day?
Yeah, chilling.
It's been going good.
I had to work today and saw some great football action. Saw Dallas drop another one again. Awesome. All right. Before we do anything else, let me get this in first. Shout outs to our friends at HyperX Gaming and Metallic Dice Games. Also, shout outs to all our friends over at GNGeekNewsNow.net. I want to thank all those guys for the support that they show the show. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. Shaw, you're the driver of that bus. Let's get on into it.
So, yes, sir. First up, we got a casting news for Batwoman Season 2. An actor by the name of Alex Moff, however you say it, will be playing Victor Zsasz. So we'll be seeing the Zsasz. Hopefully, it'll be closer to the Gotham version other than that bullshit Birds of Prey version. Hopefully. What do you guys think?
I actually liked the Zsasz from the Gotham more than I liked it. Any other time you've ever seen Victor Zsasz, you've only really seen him too much either in a comic character or in Arkham Asylum or mentioned in Arkham. So to see him actually physically, I liked what they brought in the Gotham series. So I hope we get something like that. But I think I'd like to see a little bit more of the style from the comic with the marks and the stuff like that, because I think that would be unique to play on actually to see that.
True.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'll just leave it at that because I want to be positive today.
All right. Next up, another casting news for the TV show Leonard Tomorrow. The actor that plays Gary will be a season regular, which I thought he was, but I guess not. So, yeah, Gary's going to be a season regular now.
Congratulations on moving on up into your role of being an actual regular on the show and not just being casted at different points.
I thought he was a regular on the show.
Same here. I thought that happened last season.
Maybe he was.
Maybe he became a recurring character. Maybe.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Recurring.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me see. Let me go to the comments. Some of these comments here. Gotham brought some villains that don't get a lot of shot. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
That's very true. Very true.
That's very true.
All right. What's next on the plate?
Okay. Well, speaking of Legend Tomorrow, we got a rumor that the alien that's going to be the big bad for next season is going to be Granny Goodness. What do y'all think about that? It's just a rumor, mind you. Just a rumor.
No. Like I had said, I think last night, and I'll say it again. It goes without saying when I'm watching a lot of these, CW shows, and they're pulling from, the DC's Rogue Gallery of villains. If you don't have strong villains, most villains that you see in the DC universe are, 90% of them Batman villains. But most of them are, for some characters, the lower unknown Batman villain. Could be some guy that's like, you piece these two villains together, you get like a Joker or Two-Face type villain. So yeah, you're seeing these unknown villains, or villains that don't get a lot of spotlight. As long as they're solid writing, it might be good. Who knows?
I've never been a fan of Granny Goodness. She's alright, but when I think of Granny Goodness, I think more Dark Side than I do anything else. And I don't know. She she might be alright. But like I said, this is just a rumor. We don't know
Yep.
if it's true or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But if it is Granny Goodness, me myself, I wouldn't be too excited by it.
Yep. All right. Next up, some casting news for the Miss Marvel series that's coming to Disney Plus. Miss Marvel will be played by a new coming actress by the name of Iman Vellani. However you pronounce it, I don't know.
It's good to see that they're keeping to the roots of the character, and Marvel does that. Has always tend to, cast its actors or the people that are playing it close to the characters that you get to see in the comics. So they keep it with that Hindu Indian feel. Would be great to see with that.
Yeah, she looks decent. Like she'll be able to pull it off. She also apparently did a negative review of the Captain Marvel movie. She basically just said that she didn't like the movie. She likes Brie, but not the movie.
Not everybody's going to, that's a personal opinion. Not everybody's going to like some movies. And like I think we also said too, just remember, I've had played, and I know Shaw, you picked up the new Avengers game, and it is definitely a banning game. Very great story. Go play the game. If you haven't played it yet, or haven't watched a playthrough or anything, it's definitely a game to play. It does detail a lot of stuff, but it has nothing to do with the MCU universe. It's more based in the comic book realm, but it's definitely a very good game. Solid.
Yeah. And Kamala is actually fun to play in that game. Like, I thought that I wouldn't like playing as her, but she's decent. She's pretty fun.
Yeah, the way the story is all done up, the way they made it makes every character fun to play with. So that if you even I thought it was going to be bad to play with like Black Widow, but it turned out to be like she's like very great to play with. So it's like every character has their thing. So
yes, sir,
go pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me also introduce someone else that we have in the chat right now. The newest member to Pinfall Productions, my man Tommy Colburn. What's up, Tommy? Welcome to the Geek Gauntlet, my friend. All right. To jump back what you were saying before, y'all know I can't stand Brie. And some people don't understand where that hate comes from. I got into a conversation with some people on the Geek Gauntlet Facebook page, and they don't understand where the hate comes from. I don't like the fact that she just doesn't seem very personable to me. She's got money, kind of like a pretty chick that knows she's pretty. I just can't do that, and that's my thing. Is she a great actress? No, she's alright. She's okay, but that's the reason why I don't like her. And like I say, if I live long enough to see Rogue take all of her powers and ride out the MCU, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yep. All right, next up, even bigger casting news. Jamie Foxx is now confirmed to be playing Electro, the same Electro he played in Spider-Man 2 in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people may not have seen this, but he had tweeted a picture of the 3 Spider-Man from the Spider-Man movies, Tobey, Tom, Andrew. But that got deleted, and we know what that means.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was saying last night. There's that big talk where we already seen J. Jonah Jameson show up from the Tobey Maguire series in the new Spider-Man series and in the new MCU series. And he was the reveal at the end of the second movie. And it's the same one, and it's been confirmed. Even the guy who plays J. Jonah Jameson said it's just him, but it's like they went with the whole blogger type thing, but it's still him. He's just been there, moved up. So now that we have Jamie Foxx coming in as playing Electro, not Blue, but he's still playing that character from that universe, and it's set from there. are we going to see where they're going to bring a live action Spider-Verse where you get them all together? And I don't see why you wouldn't get to see Tobey Maguire. He would be the older Spider-Man if you would. You'd be able to play that role, and then you had the middle Spider-Man, and then you had the new. So I think it would work perfectly. I think it would be great. And I think Sam Raimi, if I've heard, is scheduled to direct the third Spider-Man in this movie. So is what's been thrown out there as, and I think that's just a rumor. I'm not quite sure if it's been confirmed or whatnot, but it's really hinting towards we're going to see the whole thing merge into one, which I think is a good route anyways, to bring all that stuff to the MCU. It's about time that let's make it all just legit, that it's all just, you know what I mean?
I think they're going to do it over. It seems to me they're going to do everything over time and try to piece everything together. And I think also Disney Plus is going to have some things to do with that too, in terms of piecing everything together. Like you're going to have Black Widow, which should have been your start, but the delays, with COVID and things like that happened. So we'll probably get maybe WandaVision to start us off, and then we'll move forward from there.
And there's been a mention of a few extra other shows that I've heard of. I know there was one that I've seen on not Facebook, but on YouTube. It's like Hellthorn. It's like a Hellrider type thing, and that's all piecing into Doctor Strange 2. Yep. So it's like an Easter egg into that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. Disney Plus and the MCU really taking advantage of everything, and I think this should be and will be really good. And I think we will get a better. I'd like to say I hope we'll get a better Defenders probably in some way. Because the reason I say that is because now you'd be able to move in your Doctor Strange, your Incredible Hulk into the Defenders, and those guys that played the characters of their counterparts on Netflix, which wasn't their shows weren't all that bad. I'm not, Jessica Jones was a great show. Give it to David Tennant. That's what got me into the first season was David Tennant. Pretty much him being the villain, being the Purple Man. Luke Cage's seasons were not too bad. The acting was fairly good. Characters were sort of brought over from both sides, and everything was mentioned. The only one that had the weakest in the whole thing was Iron Fist. I liked the guy who played Iron Fist.
It got better.
But yeah, it got better. But like I said, like he probably had the weaker of all three of them in that sense. And already Daredevil was a banning show. I wasn't too keen on the Punisher, but I would have liked to seen, when they got to the Defenders part of everything, there were a few characters that were missing that would have probably made that show would have made that a little bit better if you had a mention, or even Benedict Cumberbatch had showed up like maybe at the end or whatever, and officially said, okay, yeah, you guys are Defenders or whatever. It would have tied in. It would have made sense, and then you go, okay, this all ties into the MCU. Now it being over on Netflix or Disney Plus, it's perfect. You've got everything. It's melding well. You've got shows that are meeting with the movies. The movies are meeting with, their shows. This is how it's supposed to be done correctly and right. So you have that. All at your fingertips, and we hope we don't see any bad plus. Plus, there's always that rumor of Mr. Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson getting his own show. That's gonna be badass as it own.
And I think too. And there were some rumors talking about Agents of S.W.O.R.D., and I really think we're gonna get that at some point. I really do, and I hate to freaking say it. I think, but I did hear rumor that you may see Captain Marvel on Nick's show. I don't want to see that.
But you're going to get it because, and I think it's just because she's there for the Avengers. You're going, she is that character. I think this is going to be a way, and I think this was another thing that you can tell the reason why. Look at Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. The reason why they sort of are now out, but they want back in, because the opportunities to be in multiple different universes, to be able to be on TV and also good movies, and to keep their characters rolling. Where when they first started, it was just movie. It was just movie. So you had to wait. Production took long and took time. When you're able to be constantly in that role and constantly be in the eye, I think it makes it a little bit more fun for people to do, and it makes the character that you're playing. Okay, there's this. I don't mind this being my role. I don't mind being typecast for this specific role because I have multiple opportunities. I'm always being cast. I've always got money coming in, whatever, yada yada yada. So I can see why Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. at the beginning didn't really. They're looking at like, okay, we just got to get to Avengers Endgame, and then this is done for us. They were looking at it as more of a role type, and now they're starting to see that other people are. This is not just going to be a role. This is going to be something that maybe you're just like, hey, this is who I'm doing now. This is my money. This is what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? This is giving me enough income. I don't have to worry about getting the next movie or whatever I'm going to be at. I'm doing this, and I don't mind doing it. I don't mind being typecast. I'm not really big about getting the awards or whatever because I'm focused on one thing, and I'm helping a lot of people. People enjoy this.
Exactly. And at some point, you have to look at it as you're not doing it for yourself. You have to look at it as you're doing it for the fans. And that's the part about Brie that I hate, because when you look at Brie, it's just like she's trying to do everything for herself. I have yet to see her in any interview. I have yet to see her in any type of media where she says she's appreciative of the fans. And that's the thing that kills me with her. It's not about you. It's about us. And even Jeremy Renner said that in an interview, that it's not about him, it's about the fans and making sure we are happy with the product. So
just to finish this off before we move on to our next part of the news, just want to mention this. I think now where the comic book movies are a more prevalent thing, you got to think of it like an issue of a comic book. The fans have got used to seeing a certain person play that role, and that's who they believe that role is now. So it's like going in an issue and like, you've just killed the main character. Now you're writing the character, but it's with a new look or with a new person, and people got to take time to get into it. So I think before, years ago, when they were doing comic book movies, it was like a one-off movie. You know, this guy's just playing the character once. That's not really his character, his role. It's just he's portraying it, and now moving on to for somebody else. Now where there's multiple universes and this ties into this, and now we're seeing more and more of the comic book movie. I think now some actors are starting to look at it like, hey, you know, I don't have very much time left. If I get into one of these roles, that's perfect, because this allows me to have an extended, a long amount of career. I don't have to do too much strenuous stuff too much all the time, and it's my role, and I have something I can put a say into it. Where you don't get that. You don't get that with very many movies or actors or many other characters. So
true that. All right, so what else we got, man?
All right, next up, we recently, not so long ago, got the teaser for the Monster Hunter movie. What do y'all think about that?
Last week's guest would love that. It would love that. Oh, that's his game. That's his game. I got to get into it because it looks visually, the game looks great. So I love to see what the movie would look like. And NBA has showed us some playthroughs that he's actually 2 monsters at a freaking top, bruh. That would be fun as I don't know what. And it's like I haven't gotten into it, but I really need to get into it. I think the movie does have potential. I'm not all the way there with the story of Monster Hunter, but just seeing the game itself, but that movie would be awesome.
It's like I said before, and you were saying like it was looking like an army type thing. This always seems to happen when I go back to the Resident Evil when they brought it into the movie version of it, and it wasn't really like they weren't paying homage to the source material. It's like, oh yeah, there's these characters, they're named like the people from there, but they're not. You know what I mean?
They're not those people. Yeah, I got
you. They do something like that with the Monster Hunter series. It may fly, but at the same time, people are going to be like, you got to stay true to the source. We've seen it enough times now that you have to pay homage to the source material, because if you don't, and you give us a movie that's not like that, people don't want to go out and watch it. Exactly. And then it becomes your bargain bin dollar store movie that you're buying at discount. And I'm sorry to say that everybody will pick up and go, you know, it becomes like that WWE 2K15 meme. Everybody wanted 2K16, and then the kids were getting the 2K15 because their parents didn't know and they hated it. You heard all those memes. That's what this movie could come to be, because you got to stay true to the source material. We've seen that many times.
You do. So what else we got?
All right, so recently, thanks to a list on Mojo, we got a couple of big twists from the Power Ranger universe. First up on the original series, I mean not the original series, the recent series, Beast Morphers, turns out that the big villain is actually the same big villain, just through little changes of the villain from the RPM season.
That's stupid.
I mean,
RPM last aired in 2009.
yeah, but I mean, Power Rangers is partly about nostalgia. Like a lot of people that saw things back then are still watching it now.
Look, I could see if you're bringing back the Rangers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be more captivating. Like the episodes that we still get, that Red Ranger episode that we got, where we saw all the Rangers come back in that episode. That's epic. You can't tell me that wasn't an epic, awesome episode. When we got all the Red Rangers. And if you're bringing back the original, Yellow Ranger, original Yellow Ranger, rest in peace. If you bring it back all the Rangers, the original ones, I got you. I'm there. But to rehash a villain from that long ago, I don't know, man.
Yeah, unless this might work, unless you like, I know how they write and whatnot from there. Unless you write it in as a way as you're going to get some nostalgia and you're going to bring back some older Power Rangers, which normally happens when you get an older villain that will come in as a main villain in a new series, and I think that's what you'll see. It's a good way to key in, because that's usually as you've seen throughout the series, that's their big money maker ones, like, oh, the nostalgia where you got Jason Damon Frank coming in, or you got you've got somebody coming in from the original series that, or from any of the prior series, coming in reprising a role or coming in as help or whatever. It usually captivates people and they go watch it, because not only does the kid go, wow, an old Ranger, who's this, but you have the parents that are sitting back going, I remember watching that. I'm now going to sit in.
Right.
I'm now going to watch. So I don't think the villain will captivate the audience, because a lot of it was going to be new kids and they're going to be like, oh, who's this villain? And they're just going to take it as face value as, okay, this is the villain. For us, we're going to be like, you bring back no villain, but if you don't bring back some nostalgia to it, they're just going to be like, they were destroyed this guy. Like,
exactly. He's already been beaten.
Yeah.
This is just lazy writing.
Well, I mean,
we're not the writers,
But if you brought back, if you brought back the original Rangers, as many as you could,
yeah,
I got you. I'm there, because the originals, the OGs, the ones that didn't fight at night number one time, and that was in the movie. That was something. But to bring back a villain that was beaten years ago, this is 2020. That was what, 11 years ago we beat him, bruh.
Yeah.
Speaking of original Power Rangers, there's apparently a comic that it turns out that Jason, Zach, and Trini never went to any peace conference. Instead, they left to become a new Power Ranger team, the Omega Power Rangers. What do you think about that little twist in the comics?
That'd be cool.
That's badass. And we're right now we're Jason Damon Frank and Bat Sunday just got finished doing all that up for the Enter the Dragon thing that they're doing with Jason's character. It's like a subplot character that they've always wanted to do about the OG Power Rangers and all that. Jason has done a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the Power Rangers. I think it's phenomenal keeping that nostalgia going this long, and definitely being face of it. And he still comes back whenever Hasbro and Simba call. He's there.
He's there.
He's always there. So
next up, now this is a rumor. A rumor. I haven't seen anything confirming it. I haven't seen the story anywhere else. It's a rumor that the Green Arrow and Canary show is finally in development. Again, that is a rumor.
That would be nice
That
to
was a
see.
rumor.
Yeah.
I mean, I want it, but it's a rumor. You know?
That's a hell of a rumor. Because Stephen Amell is gone. So if you bring this show back, does that bring back Stephen Amell?
No, it's the thing where in the future you got Mia and them that Mia's now Green Arrow and
the Canaries, in other words.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, you got Laurel and
Yeah.
and what's her face in the future for some reason. Even though there was the whole thing with Dinah is a little iffy because the way they have her in the future is kind of ignoring how she was in the past. Like, I don't know, whatever, weird stuff.
Craziness, man. But we'll see. They were talking about this back last year. These rumors going back as far as last year.
Yeah.
Like they had the backdoor pilot during the last season of Arrow. I think it was like episode 8, I think, or 7, one of the two. Yeah. Next up, Leslie, in the news, we got a happy birthday for A.V. Brooks, aka Captain Sisko from Deep Space Nine, Star Trek. Happy birthday to him. That's all we got in the news.
I will say this, for Mr. Captain Sisko, I wasn't a big fan of Deep Space Nine, but OG to him. Happy birthday. He was always a good character. He was a solidly written character at certain points in the Star Trek universe, so I'll give it to him. Yeah.
All right, so now we finish up with news, guys. Let's go ahead and get into our topics of the. All right, man. What's our first topic?
All right, first off, here's a good question. Should Black Lightning introduce the Outsiders? Since you already got Thunder, you already got Lightning, Black Lightning, of course. They already introduced Katana. It'd be easy to introduce some Metamorpho. What you guys think?
Gene, what you think, bro?
Basically, like I said last night, if you're already introducing the characters, you're already putting them into your universe, and the fans already know who they pretty much are established, you go 100% and you're going to give them what they want. Yeah, CW has always been good at doing that in some fashion for the fans, giving them exactly what they want. So if you're already giving them the Outsiders, I don't see why they wouldn't either A, make a spin-off show called The Outsiders, or B, just have them as like they did in Flash, Flash and his companions and friends, pretty much, Team Flash, and you had everybody else. So I can sort of see them doing something like that. So definitely you probably get it. No problem.
I think so. Because it's the next step of the series. So I think you should do it. It also keeps things a little interesting and keep it from being stale, because there's things you can do with each individual character as well. So yeah, I think they should.
So all right, next up, a little segment I like to do called Debunking Film Theory. This week is going to be a little easier. We got debunking the episode of the power level of Ultra Instinct Shaggy. First up, he concludes that Ultra Instinct Shaggy is at just above the power level of Chi-Chi at the end of Dragon Ball. Firstly, power levels in Dragon Ball mean absolutely nothing. They have meant nothing since the very beginning. I mean, literally, like none of the main characters have been at the power level of the big villain during the last fights. None of them.
Like I said before, we got that up with the I think it's like very second episode of Dragon Ball Z, and Vegeta goes, he's over 9,000, and pretty much power levels have never meant anything since that point.
They don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
They don't mean nothing. This show has gone nothing but transformations. That's all the show's been, is about transformation. Ever since Super hit, it's all been about, at least with Z, people powered up in Z.
Yeah.
People powered up. You saw,
but even in Z, like the power levels really didn't mean anything. They trained, they got better, they got trained, they got better, but there was never like a limit to what their power could be.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So power levels have never meant anything in Dragon Ball.
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
Secondly, he puts it that that's his level because he can't fly or shoot energy. Both of those things have nothing to do with the power level. Those are techniques.
Not at all. Not at all.
And even if they were, Chi-Chi was even more powerful than Z, and Videl and Hercule exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get into Z real quick too, and Dragon Ball in general. I talked about it in a Discord yesterday. Some of you guys who are in the chat now were a part of that conversation. They need to do something different with Dragon Ball. We need a Universe 6 spinoff. Even if you want to make it a character-based spinoff, we need something different. The way the show is set up right now is getting dry, is getting stale. Heroes is fan service, and that fan service sucks. It just sucks. And the way that they do it is like, I don't know. The animation is not very good.
The Dragon Ball universe has needed to pick me up. It's needed a shot in the arm.
Exactly.
A long time ago. And at this point, you know, like we were talking about with this debunking, like, come on, like, you know, Hercule has always been around, and he's been a character that's been beat how many times by how many people, but he still you know what I mean? He's still one of the strongest on the earth.
Fact. Gene, I don't mean to cut you off, but you bring up something that I wanted to ask you guys and ask the chat too. How can Hercule take a hit from Cell, but Goku can't? Do you remember that part before the Cell games?
Mm-hmm.
During the Cell games, when he knocked Hercule back into that mountain? He lived.
I mean, maybe he wasn't putting that much effort. Maybe that's why. Maybe
Videl. Okay, I'll take it back even further. When Videl fought Spopovich, now he's not Cell or anything like that, but he's but Spopovich was stronger. She survived the hit, and then she survived another hit in, I believe, I think it was the second movie. I'm sorry, that was Broly. She survived a hit from Broly, which she shouldn't have survived. She should have died. This whole thing just needs to be redone and reworked. Thank you, Kakarot. Vegeta got one shot. Vegeta gets one shot at Hercule survives a bitch slap. Come on, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing don't make no sense. We definitely need to see something different. And look, Piccolo hadn't got a power up since Z. They did my boy hit wrong in Super. You couldn't bring Boo into it, but Boo's been so disrespected, they didn't even put him in the tournament of power. I mean, something needs to be done differently. Hero sucks. The animation is trash. The storyline's trash. It's trash. You need to do something different, and to see Hit get a spinoff, to see Universe 6 in general get a spinoff would be fantastic.
With this whole thing with Shaggy, and then he gets the power up, and he's able to fly, shoot beams and everything like this. It's just something for fanboys to play with. I don't ever see Shaggy being in the Dragon Ball Z universe as canon.
Who started this rumor anyway? Who started?
I think this was all for the latest Dragon Ball Z video game, and because there's mods, and some people thought it'd be great to let's put these characters and Looney Tunes and stuff in there because we can mod it, and then everybody's this would be super to see. It's great that you want to see it, but I don't think it would ever be canon.
Yeah, man. And it's going to have to be Tora. It's going to have to be Tora who does it because Toriyama's done. Toriyama's done it.
And with the Dragon Ball in general, I think it needs a facelift. At this point, you're giving people they're inventing power-ups to help certain guys and not make it as a sense of they gain the next level or they train to get this it's pretty much, oh well, there's a big bad guy. He can't be beat. Well, we'll just go Goku, and it's almost like Dryden Superman. Oh, we'll just give him an extra power up just so they can beat this guy, and you know what I mean. We'll write it in such a way that it's like it looks like he levels up, but doesn't type thing. You know what I mean? It's just been given. I think we're at that point where a lot of diehard fans say, it's got to get back to main story. You got to get back to the good writing. Writing should come first, and then animation will come with that as you're writing.
I'll finish my point off with this. Go back and look at Yu Yu Hakusho. Everybody in Yu Yu Hakusho not only had character development put within the storyline, but everybody also powered up. Mm-hmm. Everybody powered up. Yusuke powered up. Kurobara powered up. Everybody powered up in Yu Yu Hakusho. Everybody got better. Hiei got better. Kurama got better. Everybody got better. And that made the story a lot better overall because everybody was invested. Now you're just invested into Goku and Vegeta, and it's getting old and it's getting boring quick.
Mm-hmm.
True, very true, very true.
All right, man. What's our other topic?
All right, next up, the questions pose that should we be boycotting, or should there be a boycott for Aquaman, considering that Amber Heard is still attached? She's still going to be in the movie. What do you guys think?
Gene, I'll let you take that.
Okay, so basically, like we were talking last night, and this is the truth. It basically goes like this. I'm all for equal rights. I'm all for equality, 110%. But if you're going to do equality, and what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. If you're going to treat it as such, equality and equal rights, and women got the equal, then the punishment, if you're going to punish one person, you should punish them the exact same way you would punish the male to a female. It should be no different. Should we boycott it? No. If the studio is going to handle it in a certain way, let's say they sat down, they talked with her, that from what we've heard, this was a first offense, that she, whatnot. And they say, look, hey, we were going ahead, we're going to go ahead with the project, but if this happens again, if it's a fine, a suspension, something like that. If that's what you would do with a male in that position, then yeah, same thing. Do we boycott it as a group, as a fan base? No, we're going to still go watch it. She done something wrong. As long as the studio said, hey, look, she's not going to do it again. She apologized, blah, blah, blah. It's all, let's go ahead and save face so this doesn't blow out to be anything bigger. Now, if that's not what you're going to do for a male, and then you do something different, let's say, one of the other cast members does something and he's a male and then he gets written off, or they, said, screw this, we're getting rid of him and we're recasting him with somebody else, and they didn't do that with her, then I would say, okay, well, now it's time that, we make a stance. But at this point, should we boycott? No. I'm going to go still watch the movie because I want to find out what's going to happen so that, I know what my material is for Justice League 2. I've always liked the Aquaman movies in general. What they bring to the movie and what they do outside of the movie, everybody does oopsies as an actor, actress, producer, whatever. So do I boycott? No, I say no. But, once again, we don't make light of it. If you're going to do equal rights and you want to be all about equality, everybody should get a fair shake. That's how I've been seeing it. So.
That's right, Kakarot. I agree with you. I think the boycott is too much because, going into it, it's like messing with women on Twitch. They're part of a protected class. And unless they do something extremely wrong or extremely disrespectful, they're always going to be protected. Should she be banned? If it was a man who did this, treat her the same, but it's not going to happen. We know this. Now, if it's the second incident of it happening, then I think you'll see something done. But they're going to give us a slap on the wrist. Don't let it happen again and move on. She did make fake allegations about the whole thing, and she has taken the heat for that. So I guess that would be her quote unquote punishment. But yeah, boycott is too much right now. Now, if it happens again, I think she's gone. But because again, part of that protected class. But I just think that boycott is a little too much because the studios most of the time they won't listen on matters like that anyway. So
And if she's done this and it was all fake, and then she took the heat for it, she slept in her bed and made, you know what I mean? She took her punishment. She took her lumps.
Yep.
So at this point she's faced the music.
Oh yeah.
And that's what we would see. We would hope to see with a male. They do something like this, and then boom, they don't take the heat for it, or they don't take it. Then I'd go, okay, whoa, that's a double standard. Don't do that. Equality says, the equalitist in me says, everybody takes an equal stab. So if you've had the female or male take their lumps, same should be for the same side. You know what I mean?
Exactly. All right, Sean. What else we got, bro?
All right. On a brighter note, on the internets, I've seen a new name for the Flash Grodd from the episode Grodd's Enemy. This name being Grodspeed. What do you guys think?
No.
like I said, if it's not something, for this new fan base and everything, like they want quick names, fast names, something like easy to remember. They only that 15 to 60-second memory span. Grodspeed. If it's not been canon, stay to the source material. If it's not been in the comic, if it wasn't mentioned in the comic, if it was, then okay, I'm like, okay, cool, that's cool, awesome. But if it's not, do you really need it? Like, fans make their own names for certain stuff anyways. That's even not part of canon and not part of the source material. The fans are going to do what the fans want to do anywho. But I'm just saying, I don't like the name.
I don't like that name either. I really don't like that name either. All right. What else we got left, Sean?
Next up, we got my personal thoughts of how the Fantastic Four should be done in the MCU. First up, focus on them as a family. Introduce Franklin Richards. Maybe Valeria, whatever. They're public superheroes. Focus on science fiction, which is not what it should be. Focus on Ben and Johnny, as those are the most popular characters. No Doctor Doom. He can be teased, but no need for him the first movie. And first opening fight scene should be against the Mole Man. Because why not?
Yeah, and he's original canon to the stuff. Like I said prior to it, I like the idea. I would tie it in with, because we already know there's going to be Captain Marvel 2 or Captain Marvel 2. Tie it in with that because it's going to be prequel stuff. She's worked in the Skrull, the Fantastic Four has worked in the Skrull war before. It'd be a perfect way to introduce them that way. You have the Mold Man in there, blah blah. You can really move it in, and it would fit well with the Marvel MCU, and you would be able to tie it all in, put that tie into the MCU. People would get behind it, people would go for it, and in that way, you're not sort of leaving loopholes. You know what I mean? They're going to fit in well. It's going to work well, and like I said, and then you can tie that into where they're Avengers, and you can have a Doctor Doom as one of the big bad guys for your Avengers, and that's the reason why you got the Fantastic Four with you, and It can all be rolled in. The stuff sort of starts writing itself at the point if you're following some of the base material from the comics. As long as you do that, it will write itself. And you know what I mean. And like we talked before, the original, I call it original. I know there was another Fantastic Four movie before, Chris Evans and all them, but that stuff was not too bad. Just saying, it wasn't too bad. But that new Fantastic Four that came out, that shows you when you stop going away from your source material, what can happen. You get hot trash, right? So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Long as it's Kirby, man.
Yeah, that's right. You were all about the Kirby.
Gotta have Herbie, man.
Yeah, you gotta have Herbie.
That's what made me love that cartoon back in the day was Herbie.
Herbie.
Oh yeah, gotta have Herbie, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, that is all I got for today, good sir. What else you got?
All right, I got a question that we didn't bring up last night, so this is going to be a little bit of new content to the show. It's been rumored that Black Adam the Black Adam movie, cast Aldous Hodge as Hawkman. Now, here's the thing, and I'm really big on Facebook, and a lot of people take issue, or a lot of people take offense to the fact that Eldest is black, and they don't want a black Hawkman. They want a white Hawkman. My issue is this: why does it matter?
Let me iterate here. What time is it? It's 2020. People, this isn't the 60s anymore. Hawkman has been in the comic book. He has been black. He has been white. He has been neutral colored. At this point, why do we care? You know what I mean? Like honestly, to me, if the guy plays the role well, great on him. I want to follow him as my new Hawkman. Good on you. It's the same thing when it goes back to if you look at the animated series, like Green Lantern. He was white. He was black. He was a ginger. He was, you know what I mean? Are we going to at this point? Are we really going to get picky on what character we get for Green Lantern? To me, I'm just saying by this time we should have a Green Lantern. I was always a fan of the black Green Lantern. Always have been. John Stewart has always been Green Lantern to me. You know what I mean? I grew up on that. But why do we care about the color? It's that same thing. If we're gonna harp about a Hawkeye being black, we might as well start saying, maybe The Rock shouldn't play Black Adam because technically Black Adam was a white guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like if we're gonna get real technical, come on, guys.
He was Egyptian.
Yeah, he was Egyptian, but if you look at the comic, don't get me wrong. At the time when Black Adam was around, you're looking at the 1940s, 1950s. Almost every superhero, pretty much, or super villain, were pretty much a standard white dude because that was the mainstay. If you did see a black guy in a character who's either a sub character or he was looked at as like a goofy comedy character. But to me, it don't really matter at this point. It's 2020. You know what I mean? At this point, I give it to anybody to play the character as long as they play the role and they give it the justice it deserves.
True.
That's why I like The Rock. I like the way they want to go with the whole film. We're getting to see the backstory of Black Adam, and then getting him as like a predator, sort of like bad guy for Shazam. It's writing itself. You're following your source material, like I said. So with that being said, why do I really care what color Hawkeye is? It don't really matter to me as long as it's for the story and it works and everything works out. Run with it. You know what I mean? At this point, we'll go with it. We're in 2020. Do we need, you know what I mean? At this point, we've heard Black Lives Matter. We've heard stand up for this, stand up for this makes no sense. There's always going to be somebody out there that's going to be like, well, this guy shouldn't play. If you don't like him, you have a right to your opinion, First Amendment and all, but bruh, you know what I mean? Just stop.
And the thing that kills me is the fact that they don't want us to play, or some folks don't want us to play these established characters. They want us to come out with something that's new and fantastic and awesome, but yet still these are the same characters there in the comics. Bruh, really? So I thought that was something that was kind of crazy that came down the turnpike the other day that I saw. The other thing that I wanted to talk about very, very quickly, is it time for us to all jump on HBO Max? Is anyone here still on DC Universe?
I mean, see, the shit's not on Roku, so I have no reason to buy it.
Oh, it's on Roku?
It's not on Roku.
Oh, okay.
No, Roku. There's no app in the Amazon store, so I mean, why would I buy it when I can't see on anything?
Yeah. Right. HBO Max, I think they're just, like I said, they're trying to, with this whole DC thing, like I was saying before, with the John Cena getting his own show, after the whole Suicide Squad got mentioned, and he's on there. I think a lot of this is just trying to ride the coattails behind The Rock. He always has for a while. To me, at this point, if there's no necessarily thing like right now, I don't have I do have Amazon Prime. I don't use the Prime Video yet, and I know the boys have been on there and stuff, and I want to see it.
We'll
But
talk about that in a minute.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like at this point, there's so many streaming services. At this point, it's almost even bad as cable. And then you start looking at like, I'm paying $7 for you for
Yeah.
Netflix, paying $7 for Disney Plus. I'm paying X amount for this, and then it just turns out wow, now I got a new cable bill, and now my cable bill is now up to like, let's say before I was only paying $14. Now my cable bill is up to like 20, 24. You know what I mean? People got to realize, are you going to pay? It's about paying the right money for the right stuff. If it's worth paying, you enjoy it, and that's something that you're interested in, and it's driving you, then yes, all the worthwhile, go ahead and get it. But if it's not worth your while, you're only doing it for one show, and maybe everything else that's on there is not good, then why are you doing it? The same thing like with Netflix. There's a lot of abundance of stuff that I watch. That's why I would pay the money for it. If I'm only paying it for one thing and nothing else really entices me, then it's not worth it.
I think they all should do yearly options. I think that makes it a little bit easier to manage. I know Funimation does a yearly option to where you can do, I think it's like $49.99 for the year. I don't think Verve has that yet. I don't think Netflix has that yet. I just saw it the other day. I think Hulu has a yearly option, so that kind of helps mitigate the cost somewhat because you're paying for a year versus monthly. Plus the fact that you still have to deal with the cable company for your Wi-Fi unless you're using cellular data. So, yeah. And then now, because you can count them on you got your Disney Pluses, you got your Hulus, your Netflix. You got everything. Oh, which one am I forgetting? Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus,
Amazon Prime Video.
Amazon Prime Video that you pay money for. There's just a lot of streaming services out there, and I don't know anyone that has all of them.
Yeah, there's like there's Crunchyroll. There's a whole whack of them. Some of them are free, some of them are not free. And there's new ones come up like all the time. So it's at this point where there's so many of them, and depending on what you like, there is a streaming service out there for everybody's specific little thing, their little niche.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying that they're ain't worthwhile, but at the same time, when you're looking at somebody like ourselves who we're in the know about, we're trying to be in the know about everything, it gets to a point where you start looking at something that's like, am I really going to pay the money to watch this just because I want it for one thing, when I can probably find out a lot of information on that, online, or watch little teasers or watch little subplot things on net or on YouTube enough so that I understand what's going on to the point where maybe I don't really need it. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like I say, you got to really understand where your money's going, the best bang for your buck, what you're wanting to get, because pretty much it turns out after you paid your internet service, whatever it may be, $50, $100, whatever it may be for your internet, and then you've got a few extra bucks. Now it's becoming more like cable, pretty much, with your streaming services. Well, I got to pay $7 for this, got to pay $7 for that, did I pay this how much for this year's subscription? If it's not worth your time because you're only watching one thing and you're not watching everything else, then maybe you shouldn't subscribe.
Oh yeah, most definitely. All right, I want to talk about The Boys. Have you guys been watching The Boys?
I've been meaning to.
I have.
You ever watched any of it yet?
I actually have not. I'll be the first one. I'll be honest. I haven't watched it, but I've seen enough from YouTube and I've watched from the Death Battle that it's definitely a show that I'm very much interested in. I know one of the characters coming up, there's like a Captain America like character, and he's going to be played by one of the Winchester brothers. He's going to be taking on that role. It's definitely a show that's of interest that I really do want to watch, because it is something like, hey, these are overpowered superheroes that are taking over the world type thing, and it's, you know what I mean. It looks really good. The storyline looks really solid.
I like everything that you see in there. Homelander's got issues, serious issues. And they actually wrote in a kid for him, which I think was kind of bad, but I get it. You bring Stormfront in, and you changed her gender. You changed her gender from male to female. That I thought that was interesting. A-Trade's now kicked out of the seven. That's what they all call it, the seven. And for those who haven't seen the boys is like, I'm not gonna say the Justice League. They're more like the Justice Lords. In a sense. Homelander is their Superman. Maeve is their Wonder Woman. A-Train is their Flash, or was their Flash. You got the Deep is their Aquaman. Then you got Starlight involved. Stormfront's there. So it's a very good show. I'm liking it a lot. It's on Amazon Prime. Definitely check that show out. You guys.
There's some the funny thing is there's some characters, like I know one of them is almost like a Cobra, like G.I. Joe type character.
Yep.
There's you got your Flash. They're almost the only guy that's super not overpowered is their Aquaman guy, and he had some issues with the very first new person that came in, Starlight, and how that went, and then he had to say sorry, but he really wasn't. Like they touch on a lot of different things. If anybody's interested in watching it, very interesting. And basically, why it's called The Boys is because not only are you following Homefront, but you're following these group of 7 individuals who've been affected by the superheroes. Either I know there's one guy like he was going to be with his girlfriend, and A-Train ran right through her, and was sort of like he sued him, but then he didn't win because it wasn't really his fault. They played it off. So there's a lot of tie-ins to different things. It's a really unique and fun show to watch.
And then the one that died was Translucent. He ended up dying within the first season. So that makes up your original set. And Black Noir. I forgot about Black Noir. He was in the last episode. But The Boys has been very, very good. I have been enjoying it since it came out. And I know a lot of people are talking about it. And a lot of people want to look at like different death battles, like Homeland versus Superman. The thing that kills me about Homelander's not trained. You could tell it by watching. He's not trained at all. He just kills you with his heat vision or his laser vision, whatever you want to call it, and go from there. Superman kicks his ass, but
Superman's so overpowered anyways, you know what I mean?
Overpowered people going at it. Man. Oh my goodness. All right. My question is this. If the Batman family turned rogue, how bad would that be for the DC universe?
Very.
I
mean, Batman by himself can take out the Justice League, so very.
Well, look how many times we've seen movies, or I'm going from animated even to live action. How many times have we seen Bruce Wayne basically be ready for an event where, if I have to, I've stockpiled enough kryptonite, I've stockpiled enough of this, I've stockpiled enough of that can beat every last one of them. He knows every single one of their weakness, but yet, even though they know that Bruce Wayne is just a normal man, for some strange reason within the DCU universe, you're not going to beat Batman. Even though that you could be the most overpowered, overmastered, overdone villain superhero, he's got your weakness somehow. He will always outthink you, outdo you, just that. So if you were to have just Batman and Dick Grayson, Nightwing together, that's you're done. You're done. Just those two alone would end you. Not to mention that, yes, I'm not saying that Jason Todd, the Red Hood, isn't bad himself, because he's a badass. You know what I mean? Batgirl and Batwoman alone, more again. You know what I mean? The whole Bat family has their ups and downs, and always has. If they're together, they're super strong together, more than they are against one another or on their own. So it would be really bad for the DC universe. to have them go rogue.
Mhm.
To have them go rogue.
It'd be very, very bad. Very, very bad. Mm,
Oh, for sure.
hey.
It would not play nice.
Yep.
I'm just saying. We sort of seen that, like, if you go back to Frank Miller's Return of Batman, when he beat Superman, and we saw it in Batman versus Superman, that whole scene. Like, Batman made sure to let you know that he can beat Superman if he really wanted to.
Mhm.
If he really wants to get down to it. So, you know what I mean? Like, a mortal man can beat a god, and it can be done.
Yep.
Now, what's the? I've seen some other things that's been coming down at Turnpike in other Facebook groups when it comes to comics, when it turns to TV and things of that nature. And another thing I want to bring up, I don't know, have you guys seen an anime Ruby?
I have,
I've heard of it.
yeah,
I've
I've
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it.
Okay, I'll table that for right now because you guys haven't seen it, so I'll table that for right now. But there was some things brought up about that too. All right. I put this one on the Facebook page this morning. Hercules or Xena, who had the better show and why?
Xena, honestly. Xena was better written. There was better story stuff. Hercules became more comical. I mean, yeah. I mean, there was fun stuff on Hercules, like their future episodes with Hercules being with Kevin Sorbo being actually Hercules in real life. Like those are all fun. Their whodunit episodes like that were really good. Like they had their episodes, but Xena was definitely better story wise. I mean, with Caesar stuff and Xena's daughter and Gabrielle's daughter, introducing the Hindu gods and all that stuff. I mean, the Norse god stuff of Hercules was really good. Oh,
Yeah,
like that.
I would have to agree that Cena had a better written show over time. More people watched Xena over Kevin Sorbo's Hercules. Not to say that they wasn't good, because though Hercules did come out first, Hercules was the launch, and then got everybody interested into that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Sorbo really profited off of it, and that's why everybody knows him. But Xena did have the better written, well written, and it lasted longer. Where Kevin Sorbo's show fell off, and it was just at a point where it was like, yeah, okay, Xena outdid us. You know what I mean? So I would have to give it to Xena, just 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was better too. Overall, as a show, I thought it gave a little bit more depth than Hercules did. I thought they put a little bit more effort into it too, than they did on Hercules. They came out with a show after. What was the name of that show they came out with after? They tried to spin it off a little bit with Autolycus, I think.
Um, young um, Young Hercules.
It was
Yeah,
Hercules, Xena, and there was another show that they tried to do a spin-off of Xena with Autolycus, I think, but I can't remember the name of it.
Are you sure? I only remember Hercules, Xena, and Young Hercules. That's it. I don't remember anything
Yeah.
else.
Hold on. This is killing me because I thought they did another spin-off. Hold on 1 second.
I know the actor Bruce Campbell had a series, but it wasn't with that character. It was that thing with I don't know, something with like 776 where he was like some secret agent during the um Revolutionary War days.
Hold on. See if I can find it real fast. I might not be able to, but I could have swore there was another one that came out after. I'll try to find it. And bring it back to the show. Because I sure thought there was another one that came after that with Autolycus, so I could be wrong. One more thing, and then we'll go ahead and end the show off for the night. Baddest female in media that you've ever seen. Baddest female. I don't care if it's anime, comics. I don't care. Baddest female.
the most badass female I would say right now, and this is just in modern day media.
Hmm.
Margot Robbie being as Harley Quinn. Honestly, since she's had that role, look at the other side roles that she's had. She's worked with Quentin Tarantino. She's
Mhm.
she's been able to work with Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. Like she's been everywhere in a very short amount of time
Yep.
because of one role. Not taking anything away from the actress who plays Wonder Woman, not taking anything away from any of the other actresses that come before her, but Margot Robbie has become a very much a proverbial badass for women just from taking on one role as Harley Quinn, and she's willing to play that role every time a Harley Quinn role comes up. Unlike a lot of other people who would be like, okay, you got me for Harley or Suicide Squad. That wasn't a great movie to begin with. You got me for Birds of Prey. That was, people didn't mind it. They enjoyed it because they knew what they were coming into. It was,
Right.
pretty much a Harley Quinn movie, and they're willing to go see a sequel of Suicide Squad just because we already know Margot Robbie's cast as Harley Quinn. So
Yep.
you're already going in going, okay, this is going to be somewhat of an okay movie.
My boy KW in the chat said Chung Lee. There you go, bro. There you go.
Old school, going old school.
Going old school. Who you got, Shaw?
I think I gotta lean towards She-Hulk, like both the comic version and the cartoon version back in the day. Because like that version was always awesome. Like she got started on Fantastic Four and made the Thing blush a lot, and she was always badass. And like I always liked She-Hulk.
Mine will probably have to be Remy. That would have to be mine. Complete badass. She gets drunk. She gets a little bit crazy. And her technique with her guns, her marksmanship is just completely awesome. Josh James agreed with you, Gene, that Harley Quinn is his favorite character. That's awesome. That's awesome. Then, if anybody got an honorable mention?
I would have to say an honorable mention for myself would have to be Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, because her character showing up in Iron Man 2, Scarlett Johansson showing up in that movie really started to get you into Black Widow. Like I was an okay Black Widow fan in the comics. I was like, okay, I knew about her, but after Scarlett Johansson started playing it, everybody was like, yeah, we got what? You know what I mean? You really got paid attention. So that would be my honorable mention, because there again, here was a lady who was, pretty much unknown in Hollywood. She plays Black Widow in Iron Man 2, and then gets all these great, forefront female roles. So that would be my honorable mention.
I got Remy for sure. My first. Shaw, go ahead, hit me with your honorable mention.
Kate Beckinsale, maybe. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, she still looks good nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I would even give another one, just throwing it out there. The lady who plays Seven of Nine. I always digged her. Always digged her.
Her role on freaking Bakar was awesome, man. I mean, showed up.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just grabbing those two guns, like.
Yeah, she was badass. She gives badass a new meaning.
And she still was really good.
Yeah.
I got Revy. Then I got Scarlet Witch. Favorite Marvel character. Raven would be my third, and Frozen. Don't go there. Frozen says he likes Power Girl. Yeah, we know why you like Power Girl.
Everybody likes Power Girl, bro. Power Girl is like everybody's go-to. If they can't think of something, it's like, oh, Power Girl.
Power Girl. There you go, Power Girl. And then my fourth will probably be Wonder Woman. Just from the fact that she's a pure badass. I just wish we got the one that can fly in the movie. Not that it didn't look good that she can ride like lightning bolts. Not that didn't look good or that wasn't an awesome piece of production, but I just wish we got the one that flew.
Yeah, it's funny. She sort of flies in
about Kill Bill.
In the Justice League. She sort of flies and whatnot. For Wonder Woman, I just wish we had got the invisible jet.
Yeah.
Just because it is lore, it is in the comic. It would have been funny to see that, in the first Wonder Woman movie, is, instead of her trying to, instead of them trying to use the boat, all of a sudden, oh, I got a plane, you know what I mean? And then he looks around, where is it? Oh, it's you know what I mean, and get them in there. I think that would have been funny. That would have been a little bit of a knock to the original series, and it would have been funny just to see them flying invisibly. It's just,
and you see the Invisible Jet in the animated, of course, and you saw it back in the day with Linda Carter. So let me look at the chat real quick. Power Girl, let me see. Harley Quinn, Scarlet Witch, Power Girl, of course. Old girl from Kill Bill.
yeah.
Nice one, KW. Nice one. Frozen said Wonder Woman, and then Frozen also said Storm, who is a Omega level mutant now. Some people forget that. So, all right, gentlemen. It has been a pleasure doing this reshoot tonight. But oh yeah, I forgot about Battle Angel. Battle Angel. If you guys haven't seen that movie, if you guys haven't seen that anime, definitely check it out. You guys will enjoy both of them. Actually, no third. Mariska, fourth is Wonder Woman, then fifth is Kill Bill. Okay, I got you, KW. I got you. But Gaming Geek said Battle Angel and Wonder Woman. Cool.
Awesome.
I just think that there are some badass women out there who need to be brought out to the forefront. Oh, girl from Attack on Titan.
Yep.
She's awesome. I know NBA like
to go with Bulma and Chi-Chi as well from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball itself, because they've been around for how long now?
Yeah. And that's something else we got into, Catwoman. There's another one. That's something that we got into in the Discord conversation yesterday. Why did Chi-Chi stop training? Yes, you did say that, KW. Appreciate that. Why did Chi-Chi stop training?
Because she got married.
Yeah, she got married. She became a mom.
Because she ended up training Goten, but if she herself would have kept fighting, I think that would have been kind of badass.
Yeah.
Ruka from Bleach, yeah. That's another good one.
But like we can sit here, and like I said, we can sit here all day and talk about the badass women and some that don't even get mentioned. But at this function now in this type of day, we're starting to see a lot of females get that proverbial role that is a focus, which is it's nice to see. Like when we got Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman movie, a lot of people thought, oh, this is going to go goofy, or this is going to go, but it was very serious, and it was done well. It was shot well, and it had, I would have to say, for a female antagonist, being the hero movie, it was done well, and it showcased a really strong message. Like, female can be as strong as the men any day of the week.
KW brought up Supergirl. That's cool. That's cool. Nice to see Melissa get some love on the way out. Frozen one said Yoichi from Bleach. That's another good one. Good list, guys. Good list. And I'm gonna throw one out there. And I might get some heat for this one. Black Cat.
Sure.
I might get some heat on that one, but Black.
No, I would have to agree. Black Cat is a very underrated character that it was done well in the old Spider-Man animated series. It was done very well. You know what I mean? She was always used as the alternate, seductive love interest for Peter Parker. Yep. It was always either her or Mary Jane. So you know what I mean? It was done well. It's almost like the exact same thing when you go to original Batman animated series. Everybody talks about it. I talk about it. Catwoman. She was always the gray area villain. She was always gray area. Sometimes she was a superhero, and other times she was the villain. So you know what I mean? If it's done well, it can be written well and focused on well. Go for it.
KW came up with another one. Elisa from Tekken. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right. Is there anything else you guys got before we get out of here for the night?
No, all good, buddy. All good.
Very, very quickly. I want to shout out to our good friends over at HyperX Gaming and Metallic Dice Games. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Thank you for your support. I also want to thank the good folks over at GNN Geek, geeknewsnow.net. If you need your fix of whatever in the world of geekdom, we got you covered. Geeknewsnow.net. If they head on over there, check it out. Ninth is the Black Lagoon chick. That's Revy. Oh my god, that's Revy. I want to thank everybody from the league coming over, the league Discord to join me tonight. I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are fantastic. Kakarot said Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. What's up, Josh? Damn. Sort of kind of think about it. She was kind of a badass.
Yep.
Yeah. With her psychic powers.
Yep.
Yeah, she was kind of a badass. Okay.
Just before we go out, just throwing it out there to everybody that there is a update on the new Inuyasha. There's going to be like Inuyasha show that's a spinoff that's with just the kids now. I guess everybody's really want to see it, so it's in its works, coming very soon. Mm-hmm. So,
we got to check that out. We got.
Yeah, I just seen it here a few days ago. I was flipping on Facebook, and it was like a commercial. And they're like, oh, people's going on about it. It's like, it's coming soon this October. So I'm like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? I was always a big fan of Inuyasha. So,
man, you guys are still coming with it. Holly Bell from Bleach. Ghost. KW said 10th is Ghost in the Shell Girl. She's a badass too. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for coming through that. Oh man. You guys came with us on that list. I appreciate you guys. Anything you guys want to plug? Shameless plugs before we get out for the night?
Yeah. As you know, I'm over at WGP. You can check me out over there, as well as you can check me and Will here in the Pinfall Productions every Wednesday at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, or Atlanta time, and that's the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. You can also check Will. I know I'm using your shameless plug, but you can check Will over on the Huddle every Tuesday, and you can also check out a bunch of different other shows on the Paradigm or on the Pinfall Network. If you see Tommy down there, he's got like the Underground on Thursday, Underground Wrestling Podcast, and then he's got Top 25 Gridiron every Saturday. So definitely check it out on Pinfall. Go check us out. Subscribe to us. We're on YouTube, Facebook. There's always something new coming. So,
Shaw, what you got, my friend?
Please join my Facebook page. Does This League Means America? Funny pictures, memes, information, updates, all that. Please join.
KW brought up one more good one, and none of us mentioned her. Laura Croft.
Which one? Modern day or OG?
Yeah. That gets down to a debate.
That could be a debate in itself. That could be a show by itself.
Square tits or no tits? I'm sorry. Not square, triangle.
That could be its own show, its own debate by itself. Oh my gosh. And Ashra KW hit me with one more. Cammy from Street Fighter.
Yep, she's been around for a while. Same as Chun-Li, so OG all the way. So definitely.
While you're bullchucking around, let's throw Rose in there real quick. Throw Rose up in there real quick. Reflect. All right. Oh, Gaming Geek said Jessica Alba.
Yep.
I agree there. Invisible Woman. I agree there. When she was younger.
Dark Angel. One of long.
Yeah.
Dark Angel was phenomenal.
She's about to come up with a new show. I think hitting tomorrow on CBS. I think her and Dwayne Wade's wife, Gabrielle Union, they're about to come out with a new show together on CBS. So if you're a Jessica Alba fan, you might want to definitely check it out.
It's not new. That's like a second season. That's like the spinoff to Bad Boys.
Oh, it was the second season. Okay. I thought it was the first. Okay. Hey, my man Rob Weir's in the chat. Rob Weir said Harley Quinn. First one said Melina from from Mortal Kombat. I forgot about Melina too. I forgot about Melina.
Princess Katana as well. We could throw in there.
Princess Katana. Sonya Blade.
Mhm.
Oh my, yep. There's so many. There are so many.
Oh,
That could become a topic all of its own. Like just
that'd be
a night where you talk. Yeah.
that could doggone will be a show by itself. I mean, you know, the bad females or what made them bad or something like that. I don't know. But anyhow, thank you all you guys for coming out tonight. I do appreciate it. Guys, this stream is ending kind of late, so I won't be streaming over on Twitch tonight. I'll do Twitch again next week. Because we're 21 minutes over, and I don't want to screw you guys out of an hour of my stream. So I'll stream again next week over on Twitch on the GNN/gaming channel. And you can follow all the streamers with geeknewsnow.net, GNN_gaming on Twitch. Myself, my good friend Chris. Dave is over there too, playing Chrono Trigger. Definitely follow those guys, and you'll have a good time. Let me see. Someone Geek says Angelina Jolie. All right. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us here at the Geek Gauntlet. Thank you everybody for being there. Again, one more time. Thank you for HyperX. Thank you to HyperX Gaming, Metallic Dice Games. Thank you guys for everything you do for the channel. Thank you, GNN, GeekNewsNow.net.com, GeekNewsNow.net. Appreciate you guys. That's going to do it for us. We'll see you again next Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on StreamYard.
And you just ran the gauntlet.
And you just ran the gauntlet. Gene had to remind me again. Oh, I'm getting tired. Don't forget to real quickly check out all the fine shows on Pinfall Productions. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you again next week. Take care.